All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel here. Say, if you saw in the description here today, I just want to bring you a quick review, initial thoughts review, and I guess my thoughts overall on this adjustable receiver hitch that I just picked up from Bulletproof Hitches. For those of you that are in the market for an adjustable hitch or a drop hitch, and you want, I guess, more versatility in your receiver hitch for your truck for towing applications, I highly recommend you give Bulletproof Hitches a shout out or a try, or look into them and see if they work for you. There's multiple applications, such as the light to medium to heavy duty applications for towing ratings, as well as hitch ball sizes and actual drop sizes as well here. So today's review and scope, this is for a 1/2 ton pickup. This is a 2-inch shank or receiver shank size, and this is a 4-inch drop that I got for Bulletproof. With the top there, I have the 2-inch ball, and then the flip around is the 2 5/16. So a little bit of backstory, I have several receiver hitches. I have the straight, the normal Reese Tow Power, the typical Kurt brands, that kind of stuff. I have a straight shank. I have a few 3 1/4 inch drops, and then I have a couple 2-inch drops. And so I was looking for something with 2 5/16, and I thought, well, instead of keep trying to toy with different drops and rises and different ball sizes, I would get something that's truly adjustable. So then regardless of what I'm towing going forward, I can play with the ride height to optimize the placement or the level load of the trailer itself in regards to tongue weight and, just better handling for trailering. So again, 2-inch shank size, 4-inch drop here, so it's adjustable here. You can see I probably have it at about the 3-inch drop or so. That's commonly what I run. And this is the medium duty in the receiver size. So I will walk through real quickly the specifications of this one. So here is the manual. You can see this is what it comes with typically. So it's got the grease, the dual ball mount, which is said 2 5/16, 2-inch as well, and then the shank or the hitch itself. So as well as the cotter R clips here. So you can see they're very good quality, actually. Nice, look to be stainless steel with the clips here. So quick side note, you can see I got a nice lock here for holding it in place on the truck, and then I have a full set here. I will do a separate video on those as well to give you a walkthrough of what I picked for those. So real quickly, we'll just go over capacity. So the 2-inch medium is rated up to 14,000 pounds with 2,000 pound tongue weight. And then the ball weight ratings, you can see the medium duty aluminum and steel is what I'm looking at. 2 inches at 10,000 pounds for tow rating, and then the 2 5/16 is 14,000 pounds. Again, on a 1/2 ton truck, probably far more than I'll ever use. Actually, 14,000 is well out of the capability. I'm somewhere around a little over 10,000 pounds for towing capacity. So I would never really get close to those levels, but it's nice to know that it has the functionality or the strength and durability to actually withstand that if needed. But again, probably much more overkill than I need. So I opted for the medium duty, which has the 2 R clip pins here. I think the light duty one just has 1, if I recall. So let's talk about why I picked this. So as you can see here, I guess I'll just take a step back here, but as you can see, I'm running the Rock Tamer mud flap system for trailering to keep rocks and debris off of my trailers as I'm towing. So, I had 2 other aluminum shank drop style hitches from like Amazon that I had, and every time I would get them, I had returned them actually looking at the shank length here. So if you look at the side here, the overall side length, if you're running Rock Tamers or toe tectors or any type of mud flap system for towing, you want to keep note of this and actually look at this overall depth here, excuse me. So from the end here to the actual receiver pin locations, you want to keep in mind that if you're running any type of clamp system to stabilize your shank, or a trailer or a mud flap system for such as toe tectors or Rock Tamers, what have you, you want to keep in mind of that. So the aluminum ones, like I said, I ordered, were much shorter than this. So by the time you actually put it in the receiver pin here, you had no extra degree of freedom or free range here to actually put accessories like this on there. So that was one caveat or drawback to the aluminum style ones. And so that's where I opted to go to this Bulletproof with the granite steel with the powder coat. This one has 2 different pin locations here. So that was really nice. One's for like a shorter, I think it was 3.5, which is the distance to this gusset here, or this channel, to the actual pinhole location. I think it was the shorter one is right about here, and it's 3.5 if I recall, and then I want to say this one's 5 if I remember. So it gives you 2 different options. You can see, without taking it off the picture, it's got 2 different areas there that you can locate, so your shank can either be more flush to your bumper of your truck or sticking out further. So I opted for this one because Bulletproof actually advertises those dimensions in their CAD system on the online product details. So it tells you the overall dimensions here, along with the locations, or the center to center of those pin locations. So a huge thing to consider if you run any type of mud flap system, or any like clamping mechanism here to stabilize your shank when you're towing. Definitely keep that in mind. So overall, the quality of this looks really good. It's overall great. Like I said, it's steel. So in the Midwest region, the Salt Belt, I was a little concerned of that when I initially opted for the aluminum. You know, those still have, you know, like the finish fading and oxidation. So regardless of material you choose, it's inevitable to some type of prior corrosion. Steel in the Midwest was a little concerning, but guys, I gotta say, this powder coat is really, it's almost like a bed liner finish. So it's really tough. And again, this is new to me. I've only used it a couple times. I have heard from reviews that people say the powder coat finish wears off on the actual balls with use or time. And you know, that's to be expected. I think that's fine. You know, it comes with this grease here that you would put on periodically. So I think that would just help for corrosion resistance as well. You know, as well as not sticking on your actual ball coupler. So, but the material, the finish itself, this thing is very durable looking, robust, very good quality welds. So like I said, this is the 4-inch. So I have, you know, one set here for adjustability, you know, the second here for drop, third, and then fourth. So it's about 1-inch increments for a 4-inch drop in total. But overall, the durability of this thing, it looks to be very, very well built. This is a solid steel ball area here, whereas this is like the channel groove here. So it can save some weight here. And then this one is not solid shank, so I think the heavy duty one is solid shank, which would add more weight, but this one is not, I should say, for the medium duty, just for clarification. So, but yeah, all in all, guys, I think this is a very good quality hitch. I don't plan to run this in my truck like year round per se, as some folks do. They just leave it in year round. So I'm not as concerned about the corrosion being steel, but again, this powder coat finish is best way to describe it is like truck bed liner, so like a Rhino line or a Line X, that kind of stuff. So it's very, very rugged, very durable. So I anticipate it should hold up pretty good to the salt belt and climate. So anyways, guys, if you have any other questions, like I said, my use was in preference for using rock tamers or toe tector type mud flap systems here, because you can see that it takes away some of that shank depth there. And then I also use this clamp bracket as well periodically to keep the wobble from the shank itself from moving when it's in the truck. So that's the big reason why I opted for the steel, and then the Bulletproof specifically. Like I said, they advertised their dimensions in CAD, or on their CAD system, of all the dimensions of this, which really helped me decide if this was going to work for me or not. So a lot of the other ones do not display that. I looked at B&W too. Those look to be really good hitches as well, but the one I was looking at looked to be much shorter overall shank length here, so I opted to go with the Bulletproof for this application specifically. So anyways, guys, I hope this helps you if you're in the market for a trailer hitch or adjustable hitch, and I hope this answers your questions too, if you're using any type of mud flap system as well, if you're going to have the clearance to mount these or not. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helps you.